So I'm going to start by just making some clouds. And I'm going to start with a blue marker and kind of just make the tops. Right now I'm making a few tops of clouds. And they can kind of be connected. I'm going to make a few purple clouds too. Kind of want them connected in a way. So I'm going to get some water on my paintbrush and I'm just going to start making circles, circular brush strokes, and as you see I'm touching the marker where I put the marker, but I'm not painting fully over it because I want to leave some of that shape of the top of the cloud. So I'm leaving some of that darker blue or purple in there. And now I want to just really fade it out here. Just add some more water and just get it diluted at the bottom so it almost looks like it's just fading at the bottom there. And just, as you can see, it gives this really cool look. And you want to make sure to do this while it's still wet. You know, if you wait too long, the marker will eventually dry. It'll be harder to get this effect. It's right now blue and purple. It's okay to let them mix. When they mix, they kind of just create a darker purple or a lighter blue, and it just really looks pretty when it mixes. I want to create the sun back here, so I'm going to rinse my brush because we don't want any blue mixing with the yellow. When it mixes, it makes a green, and I don't want any green in the sky. So I want to make the middle of the sun a little darker, so I'm going to make it orange. And I'm just going to do a few lines like that. And then I'm also going to just run some yellow right here next to it. And even just, you know, we kind of want the sun just emanating out like this and almost touching the clouds, almost so the top of the clouds will be yellow. So we're going to go back, get some water, and just start creating a circular motion here to create the sun. And I want it almost, I'm going to wipe my paintbrush off because it's got a lot of yellow in it right now, and I want it to get really light as it almost touches the clouds. I'm trying not to refrain from touching the clouds right now because they are blue, and it will mix with the blue to make green. Now I'm going to get these clouds just right here too and get those circular motions going again. Almost looks a little too dark here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little water to this spot because it looks a little dark, and I'm just going to dab at it with a paper towel, and you see that it lightens it up right there. Then I'll go back, rinse my brush, and just add a little water. So almost what I also want to do is just do light rays. So I'm going to fully clean my brush, and I'm just going to get some water on it and just do this and dab at it a little bit. Just do a couple more, maybe a few thinner ones here. cool. I'm thinking I even want to add maybe a little pink to the clouds. I'm just gonna add just a few spots of pink here. I'm pretty happy with the sky right now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a few hills down here. And so I'm just going to start adding some hills in. And I kind of want it darker in the corners here, so it shapes this picture. And let's add a little yellow to the tops of the hills, just so it shows like the sun is hitting those areas. And maybe even a little just dabs of pink in here. So let's see how that looks. Just get our water, just start. Now as we're doing this, we can always create new hills, kind of like ones in the distance. Let's just draw some trees in while we're waiting for that to dry a little bit. Just keep in mind this brown is going to run right into the green. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to leave a little white space between the green and the brown right now. And throw in a little yellow so it looks like the sun is reflecting off that tree. Touch the green first. You want to touch that brown last, because it's gonna get, it could get muddy really quick. See how it gets muddy? You want to wipe that off just a little bit. And it's okay to get a little brown there. And I'm even leaving just a tiny bit of white in there, so it's like the background is showing through. The grass kind of merged with the cloud there, so it looks a little weird. So I'm going to just add a tree right here to this spot. And you kind of want to make them all different looking. Maybe one bigger than the other. And I want to, let's just throw in a couple specks of yellow in here. So I'm coming back with the water and just doing the same thing here, just little circular motions. I've got plenty of water on here, so I dried my brush off. I wanted to create some hills in the foreground, so I'm going to do that first. So I want this hill to kind of be in the foreground. see how that turns out. And when you want something to be in the foreground, it has to be a little darker. To give that effect. Yellow to that. I've got a good amount of green on my yellow. I might need to just rinse this off a little bit. You know, sometimes you can kind of see the roots of a tree coming out. So I notice it's a little white right here at this horizon line. So I'm going to add just a little blue. And now I'm going to use a good amount of water because I do want the blue to get pretty diluted here. And I touched the tree, so it's giving off some brown there. And that's it, you guys. We made this really cool painting with just markers and water and paper. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.